What would you say is um, the most difficult thing for young upcoming artists in Ghana right now?
Exposure, promotion. Those are um, breakthrough points or targets that every artist has to face. You could do like beautiful music, but if you don't have the exposure or you don't have the ability to promote your song to the maximum capacity, it gets shelved. And then you go back to and the thing with artists is after you record, after a while, you get new music, you get inspired to do new things, you record and then sometimes you forget about the old songs. So it's like going in circles. You record a new song. Now going to the studio is pretty easy. It's not like back in the day whereby the legends needed to book studio time. Like sometimes you couldn't even find a studio easily. But now you could be in your room, just get a laptop, a few like setups, and you're done. So now, for me, I think the main challenge has to do with promotion. That's the major challenge. And then the industry is also I don't blame anyone. We try our best. I mean, sometimes people.
No, it's
feel
okay.
like-
It's okay to blame someone. I mean, I was going to ask, do you think we have a label problem in Ghana?
Yeah, to a point. But we also, I mean, sometimes are the problem because, for instance, you hear stories of artists being signed to a label or having particular managers, and then after a while they forget about their managers, move on, and all. So it doesn't.
No, it's actually quite convenient that you mentioned that, and I'm sure you're saying this in relation to the recent Black Sheriff saga. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't censor it. I would say it because it's my job to say it, And I was actually going to touch on that, because the thing is, like I said, do we have a label problem? A label has certain responsibilities, obligations
Yeah.
to their signees.
Yeah.
So I feel like if the label is not doing that, the signee should be able to find a way out.
Yeah, yeah.
And
even with the labels, I don't know how legit they are because for a label, you should have a whole. Let's take the links structure.
Yeah.
It's like a company. They have their in-house DJs. They have their promoters. They have their PR team. They have their
mixers,
yeah.
producers, promoters,
artists
and
repertoire. Like it's a record label. There's a label. Do you get it? But now one person can get up, say, oh, maybe I'm the CEO of so record label independently. Maybe just get 2 or 3 people and they feel like that's a label. But there is so much more that goes into building a record label. You brought up Black Sherif. Black Sherif is now doing great, and his songs are all over. He's topping charts worldwide because Empire is putting in they are actually financing most of these things that we are seeing. We may think it's just some magic happening. The guy is dope. Yeah, he's dope, no doubt about it. But without the record, like the proper structure backing him up, putting him out there, his song wouldn't be anywhere. So I feel like, yes, we even for the definition of what a record label is, I think we have a few record labels in Ghana. The rest are just sole proprietors. Moving, like it's a movement.
the shade.
It's a movement.
But what do you think? Let's say for the Nigerians, for instance, are doing right that you think Ghanaian musicians can pick up from?
I think Nigerian musicians learn and then they pick up. Let's take the whole Amapiano vibe, like how it came up. Although South Africans are topping the chart when it comes to Amapiano, Nigerians picked on the Amapiano and I feel like the DJ would better maybe give us how they did it. But I feel like they fused it with Afrobeats, made it so soothing to the ears. You hear it and you feel like, yeah, when you hear South African you hear the log drums, you hear everything, but you hear the Nigerians own and you feel like, okay, this also. And so I feel like they learn. They can even come to Ghana and they move about a lot. They don't stay at one place. actually go out there. They come to Ghana, stay here for a while. They can meet artists, pick up on what they can use into their music, and they don't always do the same thing. They just add something to it or slightly twist
Modify
it up.
it, yeah.
And then so I feel like they just learn. They learn and they move about a lot. They are willing to put in the work. They don't stay at one place.
So is this your second EP?
Yeah, my second.
This is second EP.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I've also a trend I've noticed is that, especially with the recent Melvin signee, can't easily recall his name now, but one thing I've realized is that although they discovered him in 2019, you know, before the whole pandemic and everything.
Is it Rema?
No. He's just a recent signee, that Boy Spice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Boy Spice. That's the name.
Oh, okay.
And he's really talented. I remember in 2019, his video went viral on a video he had just made singing, went viral. And Don Jazzy sent him an Instagram DM, you know, checking up on him. And then they took him into the label. But they didn't immediately outdoor him. They had to put him through, you know, an intensive artist development, you know, make sure that he's prepared because he's really young. You know, and so make sure that he's prepared to face the world. And now they've put him out there, and you can see that the reception is quite good. Another thing I've noticed that the Nigerians do is that, you know, you've done 2 EPs, but have you also considered, like, okay, 2023, I want to release a project, and so it doesn't have to be an EP or an album or anything. I just want to release that one song, that one song that, you know, will propel me out there. And I think that principle works across board. You know, as a journalist, one interview can make you a prominent journalist. Just one interview. You know. And as an author, one book can make you become famous. As an actor, one movie can just put you out there. And so for a musician, I believe that one song, you just need that one song. But I think many of the time, our musicians don't invest into that one song. No research. No nothing. Like you said, the Nigerians will go around collecting sounds and you know, fusing them together to create a fusion of beats. You know, we do not do that. So how do we expect our music to travel beyond what people are already used to? I mean, part of the reason why Black Sheriff music is traveling the world right now is because he's doing something different. We all know it's drill, but this is drill with a difference. It's modified. It sort of has that Africanness to it, you know.
It has like high life kind of.
You can pick out the high life. You can pick up the Afro beats in there, you know. Have you considered that?
Yeah. So let me talk for myself. So personally, the reason why I dropped this EP is because sometimes, you know, I started writing this EP a long time ago.
Right.
And then you have songs piled up and you feel like, okay, let me put them together and bring them out there. But with this EP in particular, I'm actually bent on promoting one song out of the EP for now.
Which is?
441 Iskandar Road. And I chose that based on research. I checked the kind of songs, because I'll be promoting it from this time through to like September. Within this time, what songs usually make waves previously, in previous years? What songs with a particular BPM make waves during this time? What's the whole, what's happening in town? What would get people's emotions?
But don't you think that would be difficult though?
It's
considering that it will look like you're doing it from your perspective without actually considering what exactly is happening out there. Because right now, when I go to a lounge or a bar somewhere in town, I'm most likely to hear house music. Yeah, that's true. And then from house music, it switches to Afrobeat.
And
Amapiano is
like
house music. Yeah.
It's house
So that's what I'm actually referring to.
Yeah.
So you most likely hear the Amapiano sounds and then it switches to Afrobeat. You know, you barely hear the rap. Maybe on radio, yes, but you barely hear the kind of music like the VVIP that we we were used to growing up. You know,
it's true.
So don't you think maybe you should try to cater to that demand?
Yeah, I mean, you've perfectly said it. That's where the conflict always comes in when you are an artist. Because I've actually released 2 house music, like 2 Amapiano songs, and I promoted it to a point, and baby, I'm a holding bedroom. And then after a while, as I said, when you're a musician, you always get inspired to do different things, and then something else comes up, and you sometimes move on. So it's always a conflict. And there is a whole lot that goes in the minds of artists that wouldn't be so easy to express unless maybe we put it into music. So with the rap, the reason why I chose rap, I felt like there was so much in me. There were so many emotions that I just wanted to bring out. Like the energy, let me just put it out. So once I put it out, I was like, let me release this body of work. But as you rightly said, it's a great idea to sometimes focus on one particular song based on what's trending, what people are listening to. So yeah, it's a great thing. I'll take your advice. I'll do more of that too. Yeah.
Well, remind me to charge you then when we are done with this.
Sure. Sure.
So let's talk about the players in the industry. We see what the Nigerians are. Again, I use them as an example because they seem to have gotten it right in that aspect. Yeah. You see what Don Jazzy is doing, and then you come back to Ghana and we have our Shatawale, who is constantly on the rant, like sit somewhere, open his mouth wide and be like, Nigerians are these, Nigerians and that. But I try to look around like, okay, how many people has Shatawale, brought up and helped build their career in music? And I can't seem to point to anyone. You can count so many musicians that Don Jazzy has brought up. You can count the ones MI has. Who else? What's this other guy's name? There are lots of them. Do you feel like our senior musicians, let me call them that way, do you feel like they failed in that aspect?
It could be and it could be not. Because every artist, for instance, when it comes to a musician, you are first a musician before you may think of other things. For instance, Don Jazzy, I think Don Jazzy is more of an executive producer stroke sound engineer. Like he has, although he has his own music as well, I think he's better known as a producer.
No, but I mean, we knew him first as a musician.
As a musician, yeah. Personally, I never knew him.
No, I mean, Don Jazzy has had in the past served as some of the best tunes, like that came out from Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like, it's Don Jazzy again.
Yeah. Whenever I heard Don Jazzy, I felt like it was more of the beat. I may be wrong, but before, whenever I heard Don Jazzy, until I actually realized, like he's actually a musician as well. I knew him first as a producer.
Right.
So I feel like our musicians also don't involve themselves too much into trying to bring other people up because of how their Ghanaian mentality is. Let's take Sarkodie, for instance. Whenever Sarkodie tries to jump on a young act song, people are always like, he's either trying to steal the person's shine or something. You can't always listen to people, but Ghanaians have a way they portray you to be.
They pull him down syndrome.
Yeah, even if you are genuinely trying to help. And me, I'm not a major artist here. I'm still striving to come up, but I've also tried to pull other people along, and you always feel like, no, Charlie may try say me pull you up, but you are rather taking me down the drain. So I think it's a general thing, not only with our musicians, But we need everyone on board, the investors. Nigerians have investors. That's the thing. And I feel like music always has a coded aspect we can't always talk about. There are always, it may be one person who is the front, like the image. Let's say Rough Town Records. We may think Bullet but Bullet has people who are also probably pushing money. So the way push this artist. Some artists even come on board like Fantana with their own funds.
Yeah.
And then you are just the person who is trying to put together everything to get their career moving. So I feel like the investors, we need more investors. If we get more investors and then we also change our mentality and how we try to frame stories and put things out there, we might do better.
Stawale says, you guys are lazy.
Well, that's how he may see it. Like,
you agree with him?
No. If I was lazy, come in, fikon betnaha. No pay kameda. Do you get it? But I'm not lazy. We go to the studio, we work hard, we put a lot of feelings into what we are doing, and I've met musicians who are depressed. Like, Charlie, people are going through a lot trying to get ahead. And I feel Shatta Wale may say that based on how he came up. You know, he blew up as Bandana, went underground, went to Nima, hustled his way out, then boom, came away. So if he's comparing his journey to, let's say, another person's journey, he might feel he worked harder than someone else, and this person is lazy. So on that basis, he may be correct on his interpretation of what working hard means. But then there are other people who are also fighting their own battles. Shatta Wale is vocal. He's out there, and that's his brand. He's always been someone who blew up as Obi or expressing itself. Yeah.
But you talk about artists being depressed. Have you been there before? Or do you go through those episodes of depression?
I feel like a bit. A bit. Sometimes, imagine you put a lot of time, you put a lot of effort in the studio, you work so hard to create something that you believe in.
Yeah.
And then it comes out and I think it's the expectations. Your expectations don't match up to the efforts you put into the whole production. You sit back and you go like, music you cry. I once was with D Black. We were discussing, and D Black was like, so right now, if you stop the music, what will you do? And that's what got me thinking. I was like, what would be the extra specialty? Nothing will change. I'll still be the same me, just that there is no more music. And that takes away the extra edge about me.
Right.
So I was like, well, let me just take it easy on myself, do my music, try as much as possible to promote it, try as much as possible to get connections, link up with people that I can, and then just do my best. But then the depression there, I don't think it only has to do with musicians. Everyone, I think
once in a while, you just get to that point. So how are you able to bounce out of it?
Music. As soon as I go to the studio, or I put on my headset, or I turn off my lights, put on my speakers in my room, play music. To me, jump here by myself in my room. I'm okay. Yeah, but it always goes.
Have you been served breakfast before?
In bed?
Has a lady served you breakfast before? When you're broken harder.
Hey! Of course. Of course, hard one.
How was it? How did it happen?
Like, I have gotten broken heart to the extent, say, up till now, if I see the type of car she was driving, I'm like, that's a me. I'm like, But yeah, it was very hurtful. People close to me know what I went through. It got to a time, like, my brother just could drive to my apartment. And then later, of course, me basania, me unkun. So yeah, it was bad.
Charlie,
we moved.
Fear women.
Fear them, bro. But there are good people out there. Trust me, there are very good ladies out there, very loving, and I've also broken people's heart. I've broken someone's heart before, so
not people, someone.
So I think we are all.
Was this before or after yours?
Before.
And so yours was like a sort of like a payback.
Yeah, I think we are all human. We all make errors. We all make mistakes, but we grow, and then growing is what shapes us into who we would later be judged. I mean, imagine the lady I'm talking about. I may think she broke my heart, but probably she's showing someone amazing love now. So it's life. We move on.
We move.
We move.
So yeah, your Kanda Highway EP has 5 songs on it.
Yeah.
What are you seeking to achieve with this album?
Okay, so I'm hoping to, as I said, right now my main focus is on one song, and then I'm staying in Kanda Highway, right?
Right.
And when I went there, I noticed they did not really have, although there are very talented people around, there was no movement. Like there is nothing to talk about. We could maybe go sit at the popular saloon, the Big Up Desmond. There is a saloon there we go to. We sit there and we are like, oh, so this hood self, if like what? Apart from football, they play football on Sundays. I think
at the Kaokudi Park.
Yeah, there is like nothing to really talk about. So I started thinking of the trying to do something to bring the whole hood together. At first, I was thinking of putting like an EP with other artists, like a whole Kanda movement with other artists, but it was hard because everyone felt reluctant. Now a hampo then so I was like, okay, let me do it first, as the first Kanda Highway EP. Maybe later on, and it's working actually. Now the hood people, even when we shot a video for 441 Iskandar Road, and the people came out in their numbers. Like the boys came, we were jamming. I was even surprised, like we're all jamming. And now we've created a group. We test, even as I'm coming here, I'm sure they are listening. Like,
right.
So it's like a movement. The whole Kanda Highway EP is just a movement to bring us all together.
Are you looking to becoming the next Shatawale? You want to take Shatawale's sound from him?
No one can be Shatawale.
So what would your movement be called? TumTum Nation.
TumTum Nation. But we are the clan. I used to go by the tribe. I told you I released the tribe EP, right?
Yeah.
But later on, when I realized Black Sherif had come up with the tribe, I was like, oh, big him up. Let me switch to something else. So my whole people were the tribe. We were the tribe. But then after that, now we are the clan. But then Kanda Highway is the whole movement. We are brothers. So yeah, my team there, TumTum Nation, representing what?
Yeah, I can see you have 2 of them in the studio here.
Yeah, man. Big up Gap Snap Films. Gabi is my great director, my great photographer.
Yeah, I can see he's not rested with the videography since he got here.
Kofi is also here. Now he's taking the great role as the road manager. So yeah, we all came from Kweo. Like we landed straight to the studio. So yeah,
Anyway, since you've gone to eat all the fufu without bringing us some, DJ Nate, where should you take us to? Dimensa na Asabia. Dimensa is fine.
I got you, bro. I got you.
So how do people stream your music? How do they connect with you on social media?
Yeah, everywhere. I'm Kwesi TumTum, KWESITUMTUM. My songs are on, name it, every platform: Audiomack, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer. You can. I'm everywhere. But with this EP, it's currently only out on Audiomack, SoundCloud, and then all the other stores would be out this Friday. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All there.
Just before you go, if you were to do that one song that you think can get you where you're aiming at, who do you think should jump on that song to make it happen? That's if you're considering a collaboration.
I would probably go with the old, like Kojo and Pio. Kojo and Pio. Yeah.
You really like the high life era, yeah?
Yeah, I released the high life song Local Vibes, and it did very well. Up till now, it's one of the songs that people really like.
Right.
So I think after this, so after a while, I would get back to the whole high life music. And high life, it doesn't die. It's the basics.
It's for life.
Yeah. So, I would consider Kojoinji.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you just heard from Kwesi TumTum, and you can go check out his new EP, Kanda Highway. And of course, it's already out across all streaming platforms, Apple Music, Audio Max, Spotify, Deezer, Boomplay, you name it. You can follow him up on Instagram, Kwesi TumTum, Twitter, Kwesi TumTum, Facebook, Kwesi TumTum, everywhere, Kwesi TumTum. Tinder, Kwesi TumTum. But yeah, I mean, it's been interesting having this conversation with you.
Thanks, bro.
And quite refreshing, hearing you talk about your hometown Kwewu as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully next year, DJ Nate and I will also go experience some of the Kwewu stuff.
Join us.
Eat some of the fufu and abenkwine with our crantier.
Thank you also for putting me on. I mean, I've known you for a while now. I think today is the second time we have met. The first was at Chaluote.
Yeah.
I think you were like, yo, that time I wasn't even going with Kwesi. I think my name was Black Icon. I used to go with Black Icon then. So it's been a journey, and today you are here. I'm here meeting you.
So what necessitated a change from Black Icon to Kwesi TumTum?
When I stayed outside, I was in Dubai for a couple of years, for like 6 years. When I came back, I went for so many shows. That time, then I was very wild, my fresh. And then I realized, me co stage be like crowd movie by me feel I no be such a loading I was like, okay, let me try to switch to a name Kwesi TumTum as it's even easy to remember. So and me a TumTum did that. So yeah, I just went with that. So DJ Nate Solo, Charlie, thanks for having me.
Well, you're welcome. It's always a pleasure. And it's Cafe 995 on Asaase Radio 99.5. The Easter Monday holiday edition. Hey, Caroline. Just a gentle reminder that you're back at work tomorrow. So do all the snuggling under the duvet you can today, because the weather may be good today, but the sun will definitely be out tomorrow. In Jesus' name, amen. And we'll go on a break, and when we come back, DJ Nate is going to give us more music and less of the talk. And if you still haven't sent me a message for your free ticket,